everyone, I'm Flo, Dude is behind the camera, and we have another simple recipe for you today using ordinary ingredients that your whole family will enjoy. We are making chicken and rice soup. It doesn't get much easier than chicken soup. For full written recipes, they are available to my patrons on Patreon, and you can find out more information in the description below. So let's get started. I'm not feeling so great today, so I'm in need of some chicken soup. And we're just gonna start with seasoning the chicken. And I've got 2 full legs here. Well, they're not full anymore because I cut them in half and trimmed the fat. I'm just gonna salt the skin on one side. And I've already turned my Instant Pot on saute mode.
It's on hot.
And I adjusted it to hot. No, I adjusted it to more. And what do I need to do? Adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, we're going to skin side down. We're gonna cook that until the skin is brown, and that'll take about 3 to 5 minutes, more like 5. And I'm gonna season the other side so that when I flip them over, they'll be seasoned. And in my fogginess, I forgot about the pepper, so I'll just pepper this side. And I ran out of pepper.
That's some high-tech technique there, Flo.
Oh, such a gong show. All right, adding pepper now. Meanwhile, I'm gonna dice up my vegetables. I've got 3 carrots, 2 celery sticks, and an onion. I'm gonna chop them up around the same size so that they'll cook evenly. Just start with the celery. And my onion, I'm also gonna cut up about the same size as the celery. All right, I'm gonna flip my chicken over. If it's browned till it's done, it's not gonna stick to the bottom of the pan. You just need to be a bit patient about that. Okay, I'm cutting up my carrot. These ones I'm gonna do a little bit smaller than the celery because carrot's gonna take a little bit longer to cook than celery. I'm going to remove the chicken. It's been nicely browned on both sides. Adding 2 tablespoons of butter. And then all the vegetables. I'm going to cook this for a few minutes. So the reason why we are browning the meat is to increase the flavor in the soup. I'm actually going to use a chicken broth today as well so that we will get a lot of chicken flavor. But if you don't have chicken broth, you can just use water. So I've cooked this until the onion is starting to become translucent. And that took about 2 minutes. I'm going to add 1/4 cup flour. I'm going to cook that for a minute. Actually, the liquid from the onion and the celery deglazed the bottom of the pot quite nicely. And it's those little bits at the bottom of the pot that also add flavor to your soup. Okay, adding about 1 cup of chicken broth to start. We're just going to cook that, scraping up the flour bits at the bottom of the pot. And you'll find that it will thicken. Make sure you scrape up all the bits because your pot might overheat if you don't get all the little bits scraped off because they'll think something's burning. And you don't want that. add the rest of the chicken broth. My favorite seasoning to use is thyme. So I'm going to use about half a teaspoon of thyme. And if you don't like thyme, if you have another favorite seasoning to use, like oregano or basil or sage, you can do that as well. Just use what you like. Don't put stuff in that you don't like. Okay, we're going to put the chicken back in. And whatever juices were remaining in your, that was collected from the chicken, add that as well. Okay, add a bit of salt. And some pepper. And I have half a cup of rice that I already rinsed, and it's just jasmine long grain rice. And we're just going to put that right on top, making sure that all the kernels or grains is submerged in the liquid, but we're not going to stir because we don't want that dropping to the bottom and then burning at the bottom, because that might happen. Did I cancel saute already? Because it doesn't look like it.
Oh, it's still sauteing.
That's okay, because you know what? It's heating it up. Won't take as much time to come up to pressure then. I'm going to cancel the saute, and I got to go get my lid. I forgot it. So that's a tip for you all. If you want your pressure cooker to come up to pressure quicker, have it on saute mode, heat whatever you have in the pot, and it will take less time to come up to pressure. For the past few weeks, we have been working hard at trying to get our cookbook out to you guys, and this recipe will definitely be in it, so you'll have to look out for that. I quick released the pressure. I always take this knob off. Why? Because it always just falls off and hits the ground and scares me half to death. That's why. People always ask, why do you always put the knob on after? That's why. Looks good. Okay, we're gonna fish the chicken thighs out so that we can shred the meat. Okay, I'm just taking 2 forks and I'm just gonna shred the chicken off the bone. The chicken bone will add so much more flavor than if you decide to use boneless, skinless. So I prefer using bone-in chicken when I'm making soup. And if you don't want the skin, you can always remove that as well. My kids like the skin, so I'm just going to leave it on. Okay, I'm putting the soup on saute again because I want to add some cream. Add the chicken back in. It's already heating up so fast. And we're adding 1 cup of whipping cream. And if you don't want to add whipping cream, you can add milk instead. It won't be as creamy. Or you can add less, it's up to you. Okay, we're just going to heat that through until it starts to simmer. And then it'll be time for...
Are you recording?
I am now.
Oh, the taste.
Hey, by the way, you might need to season with some salt and pepper.
Okay, it's always good to start off with a good neutral base. Isn't it always horrible when something is oversalted from the get-go and there's nothing you can do about it? It's not like you're gonna pour milk or water in it to dilute it. I guess you could, but it would taste not so great. I wanna do a shout out to my Overland Rally video that Flo promised to shout out on like weeks ago, but it never happened, so.
I forgot, sorry dude.
It's up there. And for all the people out there that are spam aficionados, that I have begun my search for the pumpkin spice spam edition. I haven't found it yet. I've just found the regular and the low sodium. But if anyone wants to point, you know, where they can find it in the Vancouver area, hit me up or send me a can. Great colors, eh?
Yeah, looks yummy.
And I do love the soup because it's hearty. You put the rice in there and it's like a full hearty meal and not just a light soup. So I guess we're into the fall mode, hey? And the weather today would definitely get you into that mode. Yep. It's a bit gray outside. I'm gonna burn myself.
It's hot.
Oh, hot. Seriously, I blew on that thing and it's still hot. Nice rich flavors, not just because of the cream, but because you started off with that browning of the chicken and the butter.
Yep.
And browning the aromatics in the butter. The butter comes to the rescue again. I have more. And when it cools down, and it's getting hot to hold. And when I take my lactase pills.
Thanks, dude. All right, he didn't even need any extra salt and pepper, so that's good. I am ready to get some soup into me and to crawl back into bed, but I really wanted to get this recipe out to you all. And to remind you that our recipe book is coming out very, very soon. Just stay posted.
Oh, right. It's going to be in ebook form first on Kindle, and then the paperback will be on its heels.
Yep, because the paperback just needs a little more work. All right, everyone, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel here. If you haven't already, check out my first recipe book over here and more recipes to the side. Till next time, be simple, ordinary, and joyful.